T-minus 1 minute. T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Own it, Kong. I own it. It did.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first ever episode of the Ring of Honor Club post show with your girls, me and Al, your honorably dynamite hotties. And baby, how are you feeling today, Al?
You know, what a strong second episode. We didn't get to talk about the first, but they're coming in hot, Ring of Honor. Week 2, and we get a women's main event?
Yeah, Ring of Honor is doing some really amazing things. If you don't have the privilege of catching Ring of Honor streaming on Honor Club, you should change that. Hopefully our recap tonight will help you guys get excited for it like we are. It was an absolutely amazing show. And I'll tell you that 2 hours flies by. But I have a question, Al. Are we going to do the thing over here when we do it over there? Or you want to keep it over there?
I'm going to keep it over there because they have their own thing. Okay. I feel like, we got to keep it honor,
Yeah, we'll figure something out. Well, right now we're going to do it on a scale of dishonorable, on a scale of Chris Jericho to Claudio Castagnoli. How honorable was this episode for you? He's still honorable right now.
Okay.
Right now. He's still honorable.
Okay.
He ain't changed it up on us yet.
Okay. It's not fully. Well, I'm going to lean more towards Claudio.
Okay.
We're like slightly over, not quite. There was some unhonorable things that went on, but
very much so, and we will cover them.
Yes. We'll get a graphic at some point.
Yes. We will. I got you guys. Give us some time again. This is our first episode. It's a very strong episode. So we're gonna get right into it. Coming out hot. Claudio and BCC are being very desperate right now. We're gonna get into this. We are going to get into this. Now, of course, this is episode 2. This streams exclusively on Honor Club, the app. It is $9.99 a month, and honestly, it is worth every penny. You got some love on your Ballot Club sweater over here. Welcome, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We know it's a different time than we normally go on, but hey, we're gonna do what we can do. So, of course, this was episode 2. And I just want to start out by acknowledging that last night after Dynamite, we did have one half of the current tag team champions, Mark Briscoe, come out and announce that there will be a Reach for the Sky ladder match to take place at Super Club of Honor to crown the new Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. So I know a lot of people were wondering what they were going to do with the belts since Jay has passed away. And so what they're going to do is they're going to have a tournament for him, and they're going to let the people fight it out at Super Card of Honor. The first team that they announced is the Lucha Brothers. So the Lucha Brothers will be in this ladder match at Super Card of Honor. So Mania weekend is shaping up to be amazing, but I think it was important to let you guys know that this was happening so that we can keep dibs on how this is going to affect the card. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes, Shay, we are happy Ring of Honor is back too. Honestly, they've come back kicking. Hey, dope. They've come back kicking and screaming, and they want to be heard. And baby, we're gonna hear them. Okay. So moving forward, we started the show. Now here's the card. The card overall was really good. We had Willow and Athena on the card. We had Wheeler Utah. And Timothy.
He keeps acting up. I'm gonna change his name to something though.
Right. We got Samoa Joe on the card. We had Trish Adora and Billy Starks. Eddie Kingston was on the card. This Dawson Castle. We will get into everyone individually, but the card was very well rounded. How did you feel about the week 2 card?
Week 2 strong, and I hope this trend of at least 2 women's matches on a Ring of Honor card continues. Nice to see. And I wanted to say, like, I think obviously we didn't get to cover last week, but I want to say, like, I think people were complaining about so much Ring of Honor on Dynamite before this resurgence, but I think it really helped because you're familiar with a lot of people.
I agree.
You have some people, so now you're like, okay, Trustbusters are on here, or I've seen Dalton Cast, people who weren't familiar. So I think they did this well. And then adding new people, Trish Adora, Tony Deppen, and all of that. But this is a strong second week card.
Hello, Santana, our editor-in-chief. We love you to death here. Thank you for joining us on our first episode. But yes, card was strong, and I'm going to say it out the gate. You guys saw the name of the episode, the Women Main Evented. And the one thing that I will always respect, and I hope they maintain, is that we do not get women's squash matches over here, baby. If you're going to be a woman and you're going to wrestle on Honor Club, you're going to have to wrestle. So we'll get into it, but this was y'all's overall card for the week. So hopefully y'all thought it was strong like we did. And we are coming out the gate, starting the show with Samoa Joe versus Tony Deppen. Listen, this was a match for the opener. Like there was they pulled no punches here. It was a match. Joe showed up. Tony Deppen. I was like, oh, this is
this could have made.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, I'm super glad I'm not, but yes,
but they also, I love that they kept saying, this could have been a main event too. This could have been a main event too. This could have, because
throughout the whole show,
the whole card, main event caliber matches, honestly. So we did have, and I'm going to be upfront with you guys, because this is pre-recorded and it's not live, it's a little harder for me to find pictures. So those kind of action shots and things like that, Ring of Honor doesn't post a lot of. So I'm grabbing what I can, but I made it work. So we're going to do what we can. So we had Joe and Tony Deppen. And how did you feel about this match, Al?
I was very excited when this was announced last week, because obviously everyone knows we love His Highness, His Excellency Samoa Joe around here. But also I love Tony Deppen. He's so slimy. He's the worst, but in the best way. If you've never seen Tony Deppen on the indies, he's so just awful. He comes out to We Built the City on Rock and Roll, just the worst person, but like so fun to watch, so talented. It is a former Ring of Honor TV champion. Like right towards the end of it, does have that history, and amazing wrestler. This is perfect. I hope we get to see more of Tony on Ring of Honor, because like I said, I'm a huge fan of Tony, even though he's the worst, but he's
a slime ball. Exactly. But
yes, so slimy.
This match was great, and not surprisingly, Samoa Joe did retain. It's not quite time to take that belt off of Joe yet. But something interesting happened after the match. We got a challenge. Our good baby Mark Briscoe answered Samoa Joe's open call. So after the match, Joe requested the mic and basically said the king needs contenders. Whoever in the back, and he couldn't even get it out because Reach for the Sky Boy was on his way out. And there was no simpler challenge I have ever heard made than when Mark Briscoe said, "How about me and you for that belt?"
Perfect.
Joe agreed. And we are going to have Mark Briscoe versus Samoa Joe for the Ring of Honor Television Championship. I think that's going to be an amazing match. Joe's response touched my heart a little bit because he was being hard. But when he said, anytime I get to get in the ring and wrestle with the Briscoe is a good day for me.
My heart.
So I was like, please. I don't want to cry today.
It's like the stuff. Who's cutting onions?
It was. Stop cutting the onions, guys, please. But it was a great promo, great, super strong open to the show.
It was perfect. Yeah, just seeing Mark warms my heart. Like, I'm glad to see him doing well, thriving. I hate that he's thriving under these circumstances.
Right.
But I'm so happy he's getting these opportunities. And come on, Samoa Joe. Are we Super Card of Honor? I mean,
it has to be, right? That's what Caprice and Ian said. And I love Caprice and Ian as a team.
Oh, they're so fun.
They are one of my favorite teams in pro wrestling commentation right now. They are just so good together. Ian makes me cackle. Caprice makes these little side comments, like the one he made during the Willow and Athena match. We'll get to it. Just chef kiss. They're great together. But yes, I agree with that. There's still that respect for Mark, but also the respect for the Briscoes is not just because Jay passed away. The Briscoes, you can see on the hat, 13-time Ring of Honor tag team champions. Like they are Ring of Honor. When you think Ring of Honor, there are certain names you think CM Punk, you think Bryan Danielson, but you think the Briscoes. Absolutely. They have earned their spot. And so it's just as much respect for what they've done and also respect for his loss. And I will tell you something. Mark is working hard through this loss right now. And I don't know if I could do it, but he is putting it together, putting bangers, showing up, cutting. Like, ain't no way. I'm going to be at home crying still. But
wrestling a week later on his birthday, like, sir, you are the strongest human, and I
Mr. Chicken Company, all the respect from your honorably hot Dynamite.
We love you.
Okay? We love you so much. So then we got a little smile on the face over here. We got a little promo from Dalton Castle and the boys talking about how they've been moving furniture, getting ready for their rematch for those trios championships. As y'all know, they lost them to Khan and hey. They lost them to the Embassy at Final Battle. And so Dalton made it clear, we want them back. We want them back. The boys were growling at the end, showing their teeth. And then we got a match. Now, this was a cute little match. It wasn't much. We had Dalton Castle and the boys versus Crosschun and Rosas. Of course, y'all know who won. Dalton Castle and the boys. They pulled it out. This is your boy. This is your team. How'd you feel about the match?
Okay, the promo was perfect. I was hysterical when he's like, you know what? They're like Chumbawamba, and if you get that and you're old like me, they get back up again.
And then I started singing it in my head. I hate it.
And the crowd, he was just like hyping his boys up, and he's like talking about his legacy, and like, you know, they're 6-man. They're the perfect 6-man. Like, and they have to avenge that loss to the embassy. It's perfect. It's perfect for this new era to get to know Dalton. This match was so fun. Like you said, Caprice and Ian are such an amazing commentary team. It's just like, where did that boy come from? They keep coming, like so fun.
When they were throwing the boys, I want a boy. Throw him over here.
You get a boy.
Please. Then at the beginning, Ian goes, "What a presentation!" And Caprice goes, "What?"
So
they are gold. They are true gold on this era.
And the thing about Dalton Castle is, like, yes, I do love him, but his presentation is amazing if you've never seen him. Like, he'll like hook you in, because that match with Jericho he had on Dynamite, we watched it later at the bar. The entire bar, most people weren't really caring about wrestling. They were like, "What is this? Who is this man?" They were obsessed. Yeah, they were like, "I have to watch this." Like, the entrance got them. And so, like, if they could like bring one person from Ring of Honor, but like they're the reason I'm gonna go on my Dalton Castle rant, because he's perfect. Okay, entertainment and the wrestling, the whole thing, the presentation, the boys are they're just in sync and they feel it, and like everything. And then like they do the little spin when he does the spin at the end. Like, it's a perfect tag team. And that's when I was watching Ring of Honor before. It was for the Bucks, it's for Cody, it's and I caught that like era of Ring of Honor, and it's kind of always hard for me because I couldn't find the channel and things like that. But I was always like, Dalton Castle, like he was the one that like I was like, who is this person? So like for him to still be in Ring of Honor and carry it, they literally say commentary, who's more Ring of Honor than like Dalton Castle,
right,
through and through. He's ride or die, like with a Briscoe, ride or die for Ring of Honor. And this match is so fun. I can't wait for Supercard.
Listen, I'm just glad you were happy.
I just love them. They just bring me joy.
Your heart was happy and I was fulfilled because of that. Had a great match. And then, like I told y'all, I tried to tell y'all yesterday, the pace of Honor Club, it goes. You get a match, you get a promo, you get a match, you get a promo. We're moving. And baby, did we get a promo from these three. Starting off with the Queen by herself, bringing the boys in, and finishing up and saying they want gold because they want OGK, but y'all can just call us the Kingdom. Solidified in history, the Maria Kanellis, because this is Ring of Honor, the Maria Kanellis. This was everything for me. I thoroughly enjoyed this. Was like, yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, Kingdom. Yes.
Obsessed. This is Maria Kanellis Stan channel, especially on Thursdays. We got Women's Wrestling Army as well.
Exactly. When she said that, I was like, ooh.
She said diamonds are a girl's best friend, but gold lasts forever. Excuse me? We really want gold? Yes, ma'am. Do whatever you want. Lead your boys to the gold. They said, they talked about their history. Every place they went to, they're champions. They are all perfection. Love them.
Such a good promo. If you get a chance, please, if you missed the show, go back and watch. It was amazing. Then we got into the next match. This match was pretty interesting. We had Angelico and Serpentico versus ROH and his good old brother Jalistico. Listen, the Spanish announce team cracks me up, okay? But this match here, honestly, ROH is really going bad. And I like it.
Yeah, spicy.
I like it. They had a banger of a match. It was not a short one. It was not a squash. They had to wrestle. And of course, ROH and Jalistico pull out the win. And they unmask one of their opponents, as that is what they have been doing. Yes, without Jose the assistant. Exactly. The disrespect in Honor Club, although they adhered to the rules and shook before and after, there was not much honor in how Mr. Roosh was acting. How'd you feel? How'd
No.
you feel?
I was surprised this got a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
I think on paper I was like, oh, this will be a quick one. Not no shade. I just was like, oh, okay.
Right.
This got a lot of time. Everyone looked great. Poor Serpentico though. Like what?
Yeah.
So dirty. I mean, Nyla Rose, I'm sure, was excited about this, but
Yes, I'm sure she tweeted. I didn't even get
she
the
was
chance to
cackling.
look.
But yeah, and they talked about their legacy and had like established LFI as I guess, a subsidiary of LIJ in Japan. This is the North American. They are still like they explained everything correctly, and like that they're these are their brothers. But Rouge, yeah, killed it. Like, of course, like we know Rouge is gonna kill it.
Yeah.
Angelico looked great. Like, just amazing. What a fun surprise of a match.
It was, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna give it again to Ian and Caprice for making
Mhm.
sure that the new era that is coming in, because first of all, they continue to thank the new fans, which I think is so classy of them. And then they took the time in each match to explain who these people are and why they're important. If they have a Ring of Honor legacy, why that matters. And to me, that's helping to bridge the gap between those of us that have been honorable for 20 plus years and those of us who just found our honor yesterday. And it's okay as long as we're supporting, right? But they really take the time to make sure that the audience knows what's going on.
And it doesn't take away from the match.
No, it doesn't.
It's like they're talking through it and then like it's just casually slipped in. Yeah, they don't feel stupid.
Exactly,
They're just
Joseph.
like, here's what they did. Oh, look, now he's doing them. It's like there's this is also an Ian and Caprice Stan show, so
it is. Ian and Caprice account. Love them. But yes, they have a artful way of keeping the conversation moving while keeping you updated and making sure you don't miss the exciting parts. So this was good for me. I enjoyed it. Like you said, a wonderful surprise of a match. And then we got into our first little slice of women's business. But before that, let's see. Yeah, I think so, Joseph. Maybe one or two more episodes they'll do that. If new people come about, they'll do that. Just to make sure everybody is caught up, especially since they can watch everything on the Honor Club app, so they can go back and watch and learn. But next we had these two. Listen, Billy Starks and Trish Adora. I cackled when Ian asked Caprice, "What were you doing at 18?" And Caprice said, "Wrestling." And he was like, "You were wrestling?" He was like, "Yeah." So
of course he was.
Dynamite, the stick of TNT that is Billy Starks, having a meteoric rise. First appearance on Ring of Honor. We love this. Trish Adora, not a stranger to Ring of Honor. She trained in the dojo, been here before. Honestly, a great match.
So good.
So good. They worked well together. Honor code was adhered to both before and after. There were a couple times where I thought Billy was about to get that win. Billy was on Trish's behind, but Trish pulled it out. Listen, this is what I like to see. If you are going to debut women and you are going to bring them on, let them wrestle. And they did. Billy showed people why we love her in one match. Heart, effort, crisp execution, able to get in there with somebody like Trish Adora, who is a technical master and a really powerful wrestler, and hold her own. Listen, no complaints about this match from me.
No, absolutely not. And, they really highlighted both of them and Billy like blocking all of the moves and knowing what she was going to do and just, fighting for it. And then just like them just like the forearms just to each other. It was like intense, but like in the best way.
It was.
And like, I'm so proud of Billy. Like, she's killing it. Like, both of them, I love both of them. And yeah, like it was such a perfect way to put both of these women, if you've never seen Trish, if you never either, there's plenty of people who've never seen both of them. This is a perfect introduction or reintroduction to both of them. And I hope they stick around.
Right.
Because this is, yeah.
So good.
Perfect. Respect. We love to see it. Like, shout out to writer Astrid, who was there for this match. So she got great pictures from this. Like,
she did.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Loved it.
Perfect. We're so
Loved
proud
it.
of Billy. We love her.
Yes, it was such a good moment. It was honestly a joy to watch this match. It was just enjoyable. But honestly, the whole show has been enjoyable. So we'll continue on. We won't gush on Billy too much. We'll have plenty of opportunity. But next we got an interesting promo in the back from Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal.
Yeah.
Who are now going to be a tag team. How do we feel?
Interesting. I was yelling at my screen. He was like, "Oh, I go find a tag partner," and I was like, "Well, obviously it's not Frankie." And I was like, "Scorpio," and I was like, "Oh, okay, sure."
Oh.
But then I was all okay. They have been. Twitter told me they have previously been champions together.
Correct.
So I was like, okay, now I understand. Okay, I get it now. It doesn't sound so random, but okay, I'm into it. I think it'll be a fun tag team to help. Like, I feel like they're just gonna build other tag teams up.
They are, and I'm ready to see them go against the Kingdom.
Exactly. They're
book it.
Yes. Now, Tony.
Mr. Khan.
Do it, sir.
Mr. Khan.
So we have a lot to say on Wednesdays, but Thursdays we're in a great mood. So
we are very happy with you right now, Thursdays. And we're gonna keep that happiness going with the Chris and Scout match versus the Trustbusters. People have been wondering where Ari Daivari has been. Apparently buying muscle tees and preparing for Ring of Honor. They did have a match, and I mean, we all know what happened. I mean, Scout started out with the book. That quickly was tossed away. But the Trustbusters did get the win and decided they were cutting a promo. They were attacked. Ari Daivari wanted to talk a lot of noise about beating Metalink fair and square, which if you watched last week, we all know that didn't happen.
It was revisionist history.
Right. And then Blake Christian came out to save the attack on Metalink. So that was a good moment. Yeah, it was kind of a whatever, but I think they're building, and I think this gives Ari Daivari and the Trustbusters something more to do and some people that might be interested in investing in them. So we'll see where it goes. Metalink and Blake Christian will definitely make this interesting, if nothing else. So we'll keep moving because next we had Wheeler Yuta and Mr. Thatcher for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. Now, I just want to reiterate this for the people, and I put it on the slide.
Ooh.
The rules for the Pure Championship are very different. As we know, Ring of Honor is very different in the way that we do matches and the way that we do things. So, Pure Championship rules, each wrestler has 3 rope breaks to stop submission holds and pins. After a wrestler exhausts their rope breaks, submission and pin attempts on or under the ropes are legal. No closed fist punches to the face permitted. Open-handed slaps and chops to the face are accepted. Punches to the rest of the body are allowed, excluding low blows. First use of a closed fist is a warning. Second use is disqualification. Now, it's important to understand these rules because just like Ring of Honor has a 20 count instead of a 10 when you're down outside the ring, you have to understand that for the match dynamics. So this made the match with Yuta and Thatcher, very interesting because Thatcher exhausted those rope breaks pretty quickly. Wheeler was right behind him. Wheeler got frustrated and threw a closed fist and got his first warning for that. It was a match. It was a match.
There's also judges if it goes to time.
Correct.
So, including Christopher Daniels and Colt Cabana, which is nice to see.
Interesting, right? How'd you feel about this match, friend?
Oh, what a match. First of all, Timothy Thatcher, the most British Californian to ever exist.
Yes.
That man is from Sacramento, California, and I forget every time. Every time. You could tell me that man is from the UK, and I'd be like, yup. No.
Yes, Joseph, they have judges to ensure that the code is being followed. So, yes.
But amazing. So, like, just seeing the way, like, the change in Wheeler, though, you could see the sneaky little, because all these BCC boys, they be changing, but you can see this, like, cocky little, like, attitude with Wheeler. He did a little dance in the, like, between, like, sir, calm it down.
Who do you think
was Timothy Thatcher. Yeah.
Who do you think
and,
you are?
like, yeah, first of all, how dare you? Also, we established this on Sunday. I do not like hand things, and Timothy Thatcher was bending those fingers and stepping on them fingies, and I didn't like that. I don't like it. Makes me cringe. Don't like it. But it was, yeah. And I think, you know, they also played up the rules. Like, Timothy Thatcher doesn't know the rules, or he's, you know, not super familiar in this environment. He's gonna do a rope break, you know. He did. You could, yeah. I mean, pure champions are supposed to be pure. This was not a pure ending.
It was a little janky. It was definitely a little janky.
Yeah, we got a little rough move, a little distraction, and we got a closed fist and a submission in the ropes. Acting like he did something. Sir, that is not a pure champion.
Listen.
Great
he
match,
said, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. Okay? That's what he said. But he did come out victorious on this one, guys, and decided he was cutting a promo. And we had an interesting return for those that do not know who he is. The wild guy, Clarence Connors. He comes out.
Did you just call this man Clarence Connors?
Listen, that's what I've always called him, Clarence Connors.
Clark Connors.
Clarence
is his government name.
He looks like a Clarence. He don't give me Clark. He give me Clarence. He comes out and he issues the challenge to Wheeler. Now, Wheeler looks like he's going to walk away and do the same thing that Claudio did at first. But then he accepts. So we have not one, but two championship matches upcoming. Yes, it was a nice surprise.
Yeah.
We did hear he was mainly working with New Japan and Indy, but he said he's here. He's back, and he was ready.
I mean, Wheeler did say, basically called him out. He said he's the LA Dojo Boys.
Dojo Boys.
Yeah, wearing their track suits, you know. But Clark is an LA Dojo student under Shibata. Hello.
Right.
Shibata sometimes. But yeah, so, and he literally was like, all of your crew wishes they could train with him. Where's the lie?
Hey, listen.
I just hope Clark wears his Battle in the Valley fit.
Well,
because that was, you were not there for that, but the fringe was fringing, the hat was fringing, and I didn't really have an opinion about Clark until that moment.
Gotcha.
So, and what a fire song you got there, Clark. Okay, it's a good theme song. So this should be a fun match.
We're looking forward to seeing the work that Clark is going to do down here and what he's going to bring to the roster. Next up, we had hey West Coast, We're doing well. How are you? Next up, we had good old Aussie Open.
Speaking of theme songs.
Speaking of theme songs. Versus Titus and Tracy Williams, Hot Sauce. Tracy.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, again, we've been saying it all night. Such a good match. Aussie Open, regardless of how you feel about them, I personally think they're a stinky bunch, but I like them.
Look, they're away from the other guy, so you know what? I'm liking them more.
They can wrestle, man.
Mm-hmm.
And the four of them wrestled, and I was not sure Aussie Open was going to get the win on their debut, but they pulled it out, man. I was a little surprised on that one.
Yeah,
agreed.
I think,
but they're doing a lot with New Japan right now, and they're their champions currently. So I think that might be it. But because of the relationship forging with Ring of Honor and New Japan, I wouldn't be surprised if they get a contract with Ring of Honor soon.
Mm-hmm. It might be there's some legal, maybe an American thing going on, something.
Right.
But yeah, like I think even like, Nikki tweeted out like what she likes about New Ring of Honor is you don't know who's gonna win.
Right.
Because I really was the same. I was like, oh, they're about to lose. and they pulled out a win.
Pulled out a win on their debut. So they had the crowd chanting their name. And one thing that Ian and Caprice pointed out, which I loved, is that they do have a way of working together that is so calculated and it's so nice. And for their age difference to be so good, and hi Bobby, and yet, they're so strong together and as a team, they're just so much fun to watch. And the match was just chef kiss overall. Aussie Open pulled out the win. And then we went right into Mr. Kingston versus our friend, and I quote, Bendejo. Caprice tried to say that wasn't that man's name.
He's Diego.
Ian said, in fact, it is Bendejo, and asked Caprice, do you know what that means? And Caprice said, I got a pretty good idea. So I had to cackle when I saw the name come up because I was like, this has to be a joke.
Yeah, and I had to do a double take.
It was a squash match, of course. It was just an excuse to get Eddie out here to cut this promo. Exactly, Joseph. So it was super fun. Quick match, but it was really just there for Eddie to cut the promo and call out Claudio and ask him, what's up? Why you didn't accept my challenge? And it was really interesting what Claudio said. Claudio said, and I quote, a man without honor will never be champion.
Sir.
And walked off.
Sir.
Now, Ian and Caprice, masterful again, with playing up the, well, what does that mean? What was he trying to say? I was like, okay, I like it, the sassiness. Claudio walks off. Eddie follows him to the back. There was a start of a backstage promo. Basically, Claudio said, I said what I said. You heard what I said. Eddie Kingston comes screaming back there. Asked where Claudio went. She said he left. And then she goes, are they serious right now? And this is, listen, good segment, okay? Because I was like, not Claudio being a man of not very many words right now. Joseph said Claudio is really scared. I thought Blackpool Combat Club was supposed to be big and bad. Claudio knows Eddie will end his second reign as Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion.
BCC is going through it right now.
They are stressed.
They're stressed. They have a lot of frustrations apparently, and I don't know where their honor is.
They ain't got me. Ain't no honor.
I still love them, but I've questioned a lot of things they're doing right now, and also, why did that man look like Rick Grimes? Just saying.
A man without honor. You gotta be kidding me. That's why Vince didn't want him on the mic. Hey, this is what the man said. We ain't bringing up old stuff. we're in a new era of Ring of Honor, so we're gonna let him ride. But he said what he said, okay?
Listen,
maybe he's mad about the man quitting AEW and going 1099. We don't know what he's upset about. He hasn't said it yet. You know, he doesn't like that he gets to be an independent contractor. Who knows? Yeah. But we're here now, and I'm strapped in, and I'm ready to see where we gonna go with this here, because
I'm ready for the match. But
if
also,
we ever get it, because the rules say that Claudio has to agree. So
he will. Claudio eventually will. Just like Wheeler eventually agreed to his match with Clark. But the funny thing is, my entire internet went out. Eddie's entrance. Cut out. Came back. Match was over, and Eddie was grabbing the mic. I was like, I mean, I knew where this was going. He beat Rick Grimes. That man looks like Rick Grimes. You can't tell me otherwise. And I was like, oh, okay. I figured. And then this happened.
Listen, Serpentico done been through it tonight. I'm gonna just say that. He done been through the ringer tonight.
I hope they paid him double, like, you know, a little overtime.
They better. The same that they paid Pac when he had to wrestle them 2 matches back to back for 45 minutes. Yeah, they better cut the check for that man out here unmasked under the name Ben Dayho wrestling. No, Ring of Honor, no. Okay, but
it's a real thing that happened.
This led us to our women's main event. Now, before the match, our girl Willow cut a promo.
Oof.
Okay, master for a promo, basically saying, you know, you can say I'm porcelain, but I'm tough. You won't break me, and I'm coming for that championship. Athena says, how dare you think that you can come and challenge me, little girl? And basically the promo said everything that needed to be said. It was time to throw some hands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was time to throw some hands. Willow came out, of course, with her infectious entrance. We love Willow here too. We're big Willow fans here. Stands. I like to see Kiera Hogan have a match on Ring of Honor. I'm sure she will eventually. They'll get her over there. But the goddess came out.
Ooh.
She came out. And this new Athena.
Mm-hmm.
Very ruthless. Joseph says Athena thinks she's hot stuff. Willow is her hardest opponent as champion. I would agree, but I don't, only because I was at Final Battle. And that match against Mercedes that she had to wrestle to win this belt was no joke. Mm-hmm. Mercedes was taking her through the ringer. I think that Willow is her most recent, most difficult opponent, and I'll give you that. But she had to fight one to get the belt. Mm-hmm. And this was a match. Ooh. Main event. I looked at the time. I said, oh, okay. We giving
Me
time.
Too.
They called it a 60-minute time limit. I was like, okay, let's do it. And did these ladies kill it?
Ooh.
Oh, like just every time you thought it was over, it was not over. Every time you thought somebody's finisher was going to beat it, it wasn't. Add Athena to the list of people that have kicked out of good old Willow's finisher. Not very many people. Athena did it tonight. And then the outside of the ring work on the shoulder of Willow, ruthless but beautiful. Willow trying to do her finisher for a second time and the shoulder giving out. Just told a story. These women, I don't care who you were behind. There were points in that match where you really didn't know if Athena was going to retain that championship. Mm-hmm. Willow was giving it to her. Athena was giving it right back. But our girl retained.
Yep.
Athena retained her title after a very, very hard fought match. And where's Nikki? Nikki will be on for the Impact post show in a couple of hours. Her and Santana, the Salt Shakers, will be on. This is Ring of Honor. So this is Al and I. But thank you for stopping in, and I'm sure she's going to be excited to know you were looking for her. Athena retains, and then doesn't adhere to the code of honor in the end.
Well, she sort of mockingly did after the beatdown. She
Caprice called her
grabbed
out
Willow.
for her complete lack of sportsmanship
Absolutely, as he
and
should.
continuing to attack Willow after the match. And that's how we went off the air, guys. It gave them time, and these women brought it. They showed that women rule Ring of Honor. Athena's not only talented, she's thick like cornbread. I mean, hey, girl is beautiful. Both of them, Athena and
Yeah.
Willow, chef kiss. Feel what you want to feel about them personally. The match. What did you feel? Where
Oh
were
my
you at?
gosh. I was like you said, I was like, am I about to see a new champ? I was like, hold on. Like so intense. Like I wonder if they were told this was a main event because they were doing taping. So they probably didn't know what order they were going in. So, but they went out like if they didn't know this was main event, they went out and were like, we're going to be a main event. And it was so intense and putting Willow's arm in the stairs and like her working the story of her working the shoulder because Willow, she's strong, she's the babe with the power,
Mm-hmm.
like and then kicking out of the finish and then they were giving props to both of these women and saying, and commentary was so good about like saying Athena has this intensity and she's like the most hard-hitting woman, and they're like, well, she's like John Moxley, but it's okay when he does it. And I said, yes, commentary, thank you for the pointing out double standards.
Listen, the commentary team, they're on it. They're on it. Ian and Caprice are gems, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong.
They're
The people
not.
cheer when Moxley does it, but when Athena does it, they're like, "Where's your class? Hello?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We can't have it both ways. We
No,
cannot have it both ways."
it was just so refreshing. I heard that. I said, I'm sorry, did I just on commentary? Oh, okay. Because
There you go,
I was just saying
PC.
what we're
Nikki is
thinking.
here.
Hey.
She says she just finished Impact, and oh my God, Athena and Willow went crazy. They absolutely did. Listen, the perfect cherry on the perfect Sunday. Those two women showed out, made our night. Honestly, if you missed episode 2, you got to go
Now,
back.
go watch it.
Go watch it now.
I have a question. I don't know if you can answer this, but I don't have there been very many main events with the women for Ring of Honor?
No. There's only ever
Okay.
been 8 women to hold that title.
Right. I know. So I was like, okay, this
So
is kind
not
of a
very
big
many.
deal.
Yeah, not very
Yeah.
many. It was a pretty big deal.
So I was like, because I heard them say our main event. And I said, what? Stop the presses.
Right. Bobby asked, who would we like to see wrestle against Athena now?
I thought we were going with Yuka for a minute, but that seems to not be happening, or I don't know what's happening with that. I could see these two having a rematch.
Yeah.
At Supercard.
Yep. I'll tell you who I want. Maria.
Oh my God.
I don't know if she's coming out of retirement to wrestle, but that promo she did earlier, give it to me. Give me Maria and Athena, man. But it's going to be interesting to see who they keep bringing in because they keep bringing in women. Trish Adora, they've wrestled before. It will be a good match, to see them again. They wrestled at Warrior Wrestling, if I believe. That happened sometime last year.
I think
Her
I feel like
and Billy
Trish,
Starks would kill it,
yeah.
Just
Maybe not Trish just yet. I think they need to establish her in Ring of Honor more, like reestablish to the audience. There's a lot of new people watching, so I think maybe. But they would just probably just murder each other.
Yeah, they definitely would.
And I'm not mad at it.
Nope, I'm not either.
No.
It's going to be interesting to see, like I said, who they're going to bring in. There's a lot of women who are finishing up contracts in other places, and a lot of indie women. So I think the women's division for Ring of Honor right now is wide open, and I think we're going to continue to be pleasantly surprised to see who they're pulling over and who they want to build stories with and make champions over there. But that was episode 2, guys. We did it.
What a show.
It was what a show. Okay.
Whew.
I warned you guys about the pace. The pace goes pretty quickly, but it's very enjoyable. It does not feel like a beatdown. For those of y'all that are watching Impact, please stay tuned. Our girls, the other half of the Gold Standard, the Salt Shakers, will be here to give y'all that Impact rundown. And Baby, Impact was a good show as well. You do not want to miss it. But I think we got a little message.
Oh yeah. We have to hear. We have to hear from her, the woman herself.
The woman.
Our CEO is going to let you know what's going on here.
Hey peeps, TK Trinidad here, boss lady of Women's Wrestling Talk. And I want to say thank you so much for watching, because you've got millions of options. Plus, you don't have to worry about sharing your password to check us out. But while you're here, hopefully you know we have so many more shows to watch, like Turnbuckle Glam, Raw Post Show, WoW Post Show, AEW Dynamite Post Show, Women's Wrestling Army Post Show, NXT Post Show, Impact Wrestling Post Show, AEW Rampage and SmackDown Live Post Show, On the Scroll, WWT Live, plus all of our interviews with the hottest women's wrestlers in the game. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our website at www.talkpod.com and follow us on all social media platforms at www.talkpod, and make sure to spread the word. That means send this to the group chat. Yes, even the person with the green bubble. Thanks again so much for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Ciao for now.
Thank you for our fearless leader for that. Also, we got to remind y'all, the first episode of Honor Club was tonight. You will catch us every Thursday as well as Wednesdays. And starting April 9th, we will be adding the
AEW All Access.
AEW All Access reality show, where we will be reviewing those episodes. Now, we know it starts the week before, but that is Mania Week. And nobody competes with Mania Week. So we will not be doing that. We just going to come to y'all on April 9th with 2 episodes to cover. You will catch us along with the beautiful Nikki Bougie, the wonderful and beautiful Asia, and who else? Maybe Santana?
Possibly with the other half.
We don't know. Possibly. But it's going to be
I think she has to watch it first.
It is. Yes. It's going to be a great group. It's going to be a great time. Of course, y'all know we're starting with Adam Cole and Dr. Brittany Baker. So that'll be the first episode. Second episode, we don't know yet, but we will see. We'll be here to review it. Also, Turnbuckle Glam in 2 weeks. Y'all, if you have not tuned in to Turnbuckle Glam in 2 weeks, it'll be a great time to start. We're having an amazing women's panel about fashion and wrestling, and we would love y'all to join us. Of course, it's us. It's everybody's favorites, the Salt Shakers. We got some other women that are on our illustrious Women's Wrestling Talk staff. We got some other women coming in from outside and a surprise co-host. So y'all, please mark your calendars. 2 Sundays from now, we'll be live to bring you guys that Turnbuckle Glam Women's Month edition. We love it. We love it. And we love y'all's support. Honestly, we know this is quick. Our first show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love y'all. We will be back next week, Wednesday and Thursday. If you ever want to talk anything Ring of Honor or AEW with us, you can find me at Meek the Mage making magic all the time. You can also catch me Monday on All Elite with Keeks over on the Public Enemy network with Hearts and, of course, Keeks. So we'll be talking more AEW over there. Lots of women's business, lots of good things. Tell them where they could hit you up at, Al.
Oh, yeah, Al, 2 underscores. That's where you can find me. Talk about some wrestling, whatever else is going on. Yeah, that's it.
Yes, but we will say bye-bye for now. Y'all keep it honorable, keep it safe, and we will see y'all next week here on the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet, Women's Wrestling Talk. Bye.
Bye.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show